And first and foremost, it's because you're not really tracking anything at all. You go to the gym on some days, but then other days you're not really going to the gym. And then you get busy and then you make an excuse. And by making an excuse, sometimes you say you're working too much, sometimes you say you want time to yourself, but then it's up to you if you're a morning or nighttime person. And that's why if you make a schedule for yourself, you have to be like, on this day and time I can go. When you go to the gym and you're trying to track your exercises, you want to know what the exercise is called, what muscle groups is working out. And also these exercises, they can be different. And the most important thing is that you're consistent with your reps. So going back to what I said, if you're doing 2 sets or 3 sets, it's really up to you. Because you can do 2 sets, but you're doing more reps. Or you can do 3 sets, but you're doing less. And you don't want it to be that you're lifting a weight and it's so easy for you to lift. Otherwise, you're not really working out your muscles. But also, you don't want to do so many reps that you don't seem to track it at all. When you're able to do consistent reps for each exercise, you can then track it easily because you know whether or not to increase the weight or decrease the weight. You may say to yourself that you're not really performing at your best, but then when someone else is like looking at it, they can say you need to do this, you need to do less of this, but you need to do more of something else. It could be the equipment at the gym that you're using, because sometimes if you're trying to perform an exercise correctly, sometimes someone else is like using the equipment, so that's why you have to use something else. But let's say in your case that the equipment's free, but you're just there on time. The most important thing is just to at least fill out the weights. And if you haven't done an exercise before, it's best to give it a go, see where your limit is, and you're progressively increasing the weight each week. Because when you increase the weight each week, it gives you an opportunity to see where it is that you can improve. You don't want it to be that you're lifting the heaviest weight, but then over time you keep dropping the weight. Because instead of you progressively overloading, you seem to be lifting less and your form is not even correct. It's very important that when it comes to your diet, you need to lift more weights, you need to be eating more. And when I mean eating more, it means eating more protein, it needs to be tracked. You need friends that actually like going to the gym, or you need friends that haven't gone to the gym but they're willing to go to the gym because they realize the benefits from it. And this is my last point, because it's not about the results, but it's more about your determination, it's more about your reason why. Because you may do this because you want to feel good about yourself. It's something that you add to your lifestyle, and also you start to fit into clothes better, but that's something that you see over time. And it's not really about the results, because let's say you get the results today, but then are you going to go back to the gym trying to at least improve? Because if you have nothing else to improve, and then you go back to how you was in the beginning, it's going to be a cycle where you feel good about yourself and then you don't, and then you feel good about yourself and then you don't. The whole idea of going to the gym is just to improve different aspects. So one week you may focus on exercise, the next week you may focus on diet, but then another week you're trying to focus on who you surround yourself with. If you end up going to the gym, you're probably going to talk to someone that knows how to do an exercise so that they can help you do it properly. Because you don't want it to be that you do an exercise wrong and no one helps you at all. Even though you go to the gym on days you feel like it, and some days you feel 100%, you have the most energy, you're over the moon when you do a workout correctly, and you're lifting weights of what you thought you couldn't really do. But if it's like the other end where you're not feeling as good, you're not looking your best, only to go to the gym a few hours later because you decided to wake up a bit late and you're behind schedule, and if you don't really exercise, then you don't really see the benefits. And you may think it's strange for other people that do exercise because they seem to do it so often. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.